Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and also support my small business at latricelimited.com. So we're going to get right into this video, okay? So this is actually going to be an upsetting and kind of not story about a shooting that happened in the near downtown Austin area, the Domain to be specific. Okay, we're going to read the article, and of course, you know, I'm gonna give my opinions, my thoughts, my feelings as we go. All right, so it says a 17-year-old shot by man he was trying to rob at North Austin. A 17-year-old was seriously injured Tuesday evening after the man he was trying to rob pulled out a gun and shot him. The injured team, who has the name of Jalen Reed, is now charged with aggravated robbery with the deadly weapon and first-degree felony. Okay, happened around 4 p.m. at the Domain Shopping Center. So the arrest affidavit says that a couple was walking through the parking lot in Neiman Marcus when they were approached from behind by Reed, who had a black shirt wrapped around his face. He was armed with the gun and pointed at the couple, demanding their property. And you later find out that the property they wanted, or Reed wanted, was a book bag. What was in his book bag? I don't know. Does he know what was in his book bag? I highly doubt it, but it is what it is. So fearing that they may be shot, the couple gave him what he wanted. A vehicle pulled up behind Reed and he began to get into the vehicle. But when one of the victims walked towards Reed, pointed his gun at her and told her to watch out, and that's when the other robbery victim pulled out his concealed handgun and fired at Reed. Reed got into the car and left the scene. But a short distance away at the Burnett Road in Esperanza crossing intersection, one of the occupants of the vehicle called the police because of Reed's injuries. So a guy, quote unquote, a good guy with a gun, he went and shot Reed, the guy who was robbing them and whatnot. And, he shot him, got in the car, whatever. They said one of the occupants of the vehicle called the police because I'm assuming obviously he was bleeding out profusely. Now, the thing that I wonder is how many were in there. Okay. And I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Okay. Because that's one thing I'm wondering, because you would have just said the driver of the vehicle would have because we know that there's a driver because they pulled up, Reed got in. So we know there's two people in there, right? They said one of the occupants, meaning that there has to be more than just those two in there. Okay. And the reason why I'm telling you this right now is because it's going to go a little bit into something else that I found out by this story even happening. Okay. They said that they called because of Reed's injuries. Okay. He was transported to the hospital, whatever. And that's pretty much it for that story. Now, okay, we're going to get into what I was just talking about. I said one of the occupants. So this guy, Jalen Reed, 17 years old, Ray and Pookie, was trying to rob somebody, hard working, just trying to enjoy their life and whatnot. You think you could just come up and rob someone. You think you could just come up and take someone else's property because you're just who you are, right? So there is actually another story that links to this. Okay. And we're going to get more images, more pictures. You know how I do it. So it says 4 arrested after at least 9 robberies around Austin in the last week, in less than a week. So, and this is a part that I forgot to mention. Jalen Reed, who robbed those people or tried to rob those people, he was supposed to be on house arrest. He was supposed to have an ankle monitor. Okay. He was supposed to have an ankle monitor on. Now, I don't know if this is all a part of the gig, if this is like a part of the rig of the system and whatnot, but somehow this ankle monitor got off of his ankle. And this is something I don't understand because ankle monitors, once you like cut it or whatever, disconnect, it's supposed to beep, 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 beep. It's supposed to do all that. Call the cops. Hey, what's going on? So somehow he managed to get it off of his ankle. So fine. But they also said that he is possibly linked to a string of robberies that has happened in less than a week's time. Okay. That is very important to what you're about to hear me say. I'm going to reread the headline. I'm going to read that story as we go. So it says 4 arrested after at least 9 robberies around Austin in less than that week. So it says we're learning more about the string of robberies that have occurred. There have been, and I'm going to show a list of the different robberies that have happened. You got June 10th. It happened 2 times, June 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. No, 5. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, June 12th. We got 2 times, June 14th. Okay. And that is including this other one that has happened, right? So it says Austin Police Department says in several of the cases, the victim suffered head injuries after being pistol whipped by the suspect. So you steal their stuff and then you take off running. Okay. And as you can see, all Rays and Pookies. Okay. It said, according to the affidavit, the 17-year-old Jalen Reed was shot Tuesday during a robbery. He is included in this crew of people. All right. It says police say Reed got into a stolen car, and it's a stolen car as well, and drove off. But shortly after, police responded less than a mile of the robbery after someone in the car called police because they needed to help with Reed's injuries. Now, what gets me is this. So you think you could just waltz up on somebody, shoot them, steal their stuff, pistol whip them, hit them in the head, whatever the case may be. You think you could just go and steal something from somebody. Now somebody retaliates and then shoots you. And then now you're like, I need medical help now. I need medical help. But no, it was okay for you not to just leave people alone. Now you need help. And now you're like, I need a doctor. I need a doctor now. I need one. I'm about to die. But you didn't care about anyone else's life. You didn't care. Who's to say that your pistol whipping didn't cause internal bleeding? Who's to say? And people are traumatized. Who's to say that all these people aren't now suffering issues and mental health issues now because of you? And now look at you. I need my life saved though. Why? So you could be back on the street? Girl, bye. But it says following the incident, it said Austin police identified the 3 adult suspects and 1 juvenile involved and were able to link them to the string of robberies. Okay. So remember how I said you had the driver, you had Jalen that came in. Then it said 1 of the occupants of the vehicle. And I'm like, well, why would you use that wording if it's only 2 people? It's either Jalen or it's the driver. It's because all these other people was in the car too. Okay. And so Reed and 19-year-old Paul Rosslin and Andre Harris were all arrested. So we got 4 people in that car. Okay. So far, it seems like it's 4 people unless that's including the driver. So at least 3 then. Police did not release the identity of the juvenile involved, obviously, because you can't do it. But it says Reed has an extensive criminal history of aggravated robbery. Okay, has been ordered by the Travis County judge to wear an ankle monitor, which he ended up taking off. So what's the point of even doing that? Which has been removed. He's also a suspect in multiple robberies and auto thefts. Okay, and that's where the story ends from there. Now, my problem is this. He was sentenced, he's supposed to wear, an ankle monitor. I don't know what his bond was set at, but there's certain people, certain crimes that are going on that I don't feel that you should even have bond. Why? And I also want to know what is going on with these judges. What's going on with these police? Why are you guys letting these Rays and Pookies go out? You have a Stanley who maybe he had too much weed on him or whatever the case may be. And you're like, well, we're going to throw the whole book at you. But then you see a Ray and Pookie and you're like, you know what? Maybe you guys just made a mistake. We'll just let you go back out and keep doing what you're doing. Okay. You're 17 years old. Aggravated robbery is what you are charged with. Where are you getting your guns? Where are your parents at? Why are you here? Why are you not at school? Why are you not doing anything else? Literally anything else. Get an actual job. You think that you're so entitled, you think you're so privileged that, you know, we're just supposed to be okay with this, and then you keep coming back out. Get out of here, yo. And that is something that is really annoying to me, because it's like, why do you think that you could just keep coming out, and why are people constantly letting you out? You're robbing people. Why do you need to be out? Oh, let's put an ankle monitor on him. And this is what I'm saying. Is that part of the fix? How come it how come it didn't like go off when you took it off? You know, so it makes me wonder, is some of this stuff deliberate? Or is it just coincidence that all of y'all doing the same kind of stuff? I was watching this video, right? I was on YouTube's, and I was watching this video, and there was this guy, he got pulled over, I think they said like 30 some times, right? I don't think he got arrested at all for any of those. No license, no registration. I don't even think that was his car, really. But no license, no registration. If it's a 30-mile, speed limit, he's going 50 or 60 miles that's what he's doing. He's driving like this, he's swerving, he's recording himself doing it. And the cops, you will see some of them be like, pound it, deuces. And you literally seen this stuff on video. Like, this is legit. And then people are like, well, why is this allowed? Why are you guys not doing anything about this? You see that this is a problem, but you're not doing anything about it. Why is that? And this is what I'm wondering. Are you guys just wanting to like get yourself to stay employed so you can have more criminals out? I mean, we already have enough. We have more every day. Why not just lock these people up? And I believe that, yes, there should be some level of rehabilitation, but when you're doing stuff like this, that stuff is traumatizing. Would you want to be robbed at gunpoint and be like, well, he could go on house arrest. He didn't really mean it. No. Anytime you're pulling out a gun on somebody, you have every intention to kill that person. Okay. So the fact that you did this and you think that that's just okay, it's not fine. That's not an okay thing to be doing, And I was talking about this yesterday because I actually watch it's like these Texas street fight kind of videos or whatever, right? And I'm looking at them and I'm like, how? Because you have people who just really like fighting, okay? And, you see and not, and if this hurts your feelings, the shoe may fit, okay? But you see people who look a certain way, all right? So you had black people, you had some white people, you had Hispanics, but it's mostly black and Latinos, okay? That you mostly seen in these videos fighting. They all looked, especially the black chicks, they all looked the same. You know what I mean? They got the tattoos, they got the, some would have a really nice outfit on, some wouldn't. Got the long weave, got the face full of, pound cake. You got the eyelashes, you got all of that stuff. And just looking at the attitude that these chicks had, they all had that kind of attitude like, you know what, I'm not going to talk, we're just going to fight. So just forget any kind of discussion of talking. Let's talk it out. Let's work it out. I just want to fight you. I want to fight you. I want to fight you. And you've seen all of those chicks just being overly aggressive. Okay. And of course, you've seen it with the males too. But in this particular situation, I was looking at a lot of these chicks and they were all just really aggressive, really aggressive, really aggressive. I'm gonna just pull your hair. I just want to fight. I just want to fight. And it makes me wonder, how did you come to be like that? Okay. You do have some people who just really like to fight. All right. I feel like this, put your talents to good use if you're good and go into professional fighting, if that's the case. But y'all want to just fight in the street. Y'all want to do all this stuff and y'all calling each other out of y'all names. Y'all doing all this mess. And, when the fight should be over, you're like, you know what? Oh, was she say, yo, mama, what? And then y'all ready to go again. So I look at this and I'm like, how is this all coming to be? And I narrowed it down to a couple of bullet points, a couple of things. Okay. So for me anyways, I look at it and I'm like, if I were to line all of you guys up and ask you, were both parents in the household during your childhood? That goes from age 0 to, 1 day old to, 18 years old. Were your parents, both parents, in your lives? Yes or no? And I can guarantee you 80% of them would say no. Okay, of which parent? Which one was in the house? Oh, it was just my mom. Most of the time, that's what it is. All right. So then it's like, okay, maybe you were raised by your grandparent, whatever. And when you listen to therapists and they're like, oh, maybe you weren't hugged enough as a child. I really think that messes with a lot of people more than they are willing to admit. Okay. I really think that is what that is. People may be like, man, I don't care. F them, F mama. I don't care. But I think they really do care. And the reason why is because they walk around, they move around as though they're trying to prove something. Maybe they weren't hugged enough. Maybe they just simply weren't loved enough as a child. And they're like, well, I need to do something to get attention. I need to do something. Let me fight. Let me do something. And then they're trying to, hey, I'm doing this. I'm letting my anger out because I'm mad about whatever happened in my childhood. Mad that maybe, people weren't paying attention to me in my childhood, and I look at that and I'm like, maybe this is the problem. Maybe it's because, maybe you weren't loved. Maybe you were living in poverty. Maybe you wanted that toy and you never got that toy. I don't know what your reasoning could have been. Maybe you live in the hood. Maybe you live in the ghetto and you just don't know what to do. And you're just mad. You're mad at everyone because you don't have the life that you quote unquote think you deserve. So you're just going to lash out and take all of that and, put it all out into the world. Just going to attack other people just because you can, because you're mad. When really you need to be sitting down with a therapist and talking your feelings out, because obviously something ain't right with you. But no, what they want to do is just go out and fight. Oh, I want to fight. I want to have this image of what I feel like I should be looking like. Maybe it's losing weight. I don't know. Maybe it's, just eating better. But you don't want to do any of that. What you want to do is just go and fight somebody because I guess you feel like it makes you look good when you do that. Ooh, I felt so good fighting. When really the fighting, put the fist down and actually open your mouth and start talking to people. Have a nice conversation, have a discussion. You know what? Walk away. But people are so childish. They can't do that. They'd rather throw fists than just talk. And I get it. There are situations where that is warranted. There are situations where, yeah, you may just need to do that. But a lot of these situations I'm seeing, I was like, you're in jail the next day. All right. What are you tell the cops are like, okay, well, what were you guys actually arguing about? I don't know. Well, she said my hair wasn't cute. Oh, well, she was looking at me funny. Oh, well, I mean, and then it's no real reason. And now you're looking dumb. Now you got to pay money. And now you got something on your record because you want to be dumb. So it's stuff like that. And this is also why I constantly say self-love. You need to, and hey, maybe you just didn't have your parents hanging out with you enough. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you can only blame so much on that kind of stuff, in my opinion anyways. Okay. Well, he didn't love me. My daddy wasn't there for me. And okay, so that means you could go and shoot up a school? Well, I ain't gonna do that, but I mean, you're next to it. Your next step is getting a gun and start shooting people, right? Then after that, go and do mass shootings, right? That's all. It's just going to be a gradual thing. You're already fighting. Who's to say you're not going to pull out a gun next? Then who's to say you're not going to shoot one person? Who's to say you're not going to shoot multiple people? So I just feel like at some point you got to start taking responsibility for yourself. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, because let's be real. No one cares. I know it. Oh, I know, Alex. Oh, you're speaking too much truth, because no one cares. At the end of the day, life still goes on. No one's going to be over here and be like, well, I know, I get it. I know you had to shoot him. No. They're going to lock you up, throw away the key, be like, deuces. And is that really what you want for your life? When you could actually be doing something productive, doing something that can actually help other people, or just help yourself simply. Find a hobby, Oh, I want to be out here in these streets and I want to get into fights and and y'all look, I just beat her. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. We seriously have to do better, because all these Rays and Pookies, and then, I'm not going to get to my other part that I was just about to say, but all these Rays and Pookies out here, no reason for them, completely unnecessary. All I'm going to say is this. Y'all need to get y'all stuff together. Younger and younger and younger. I'm seeing more people committing these violent crimes. I'm seeing more people want to rob. I'm seeing more people want to shoot. I'm seeing more people want to stab. I'm seeing more people want to kill. That's a problem that needs to stop, and it needs to stop today. Those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions. And until then.